Greetings everyone, welcome back to my court. I am your Hello Queen, and in this video I'm going to do a Yarn WIp update with some finished objects and some works in progress. Stick around and see what I've been up to. Okay, so a lot of these crafty pursuits for me are relatively recent. They've been since COVID hit. I am not a practiced crocheter. I am not an expert on this in any means. I am learning my way through trial and lots and lots and lots of errors. So before I held my nose and took a plunge into doing the crochet along, the only thing I had really crocheted was a couple of headbands. I learned how to do a single crochet and did a couple of headbands for the girls. I put little buttons on them so they could hook their masks for the school year onto the buttons. This was back a year, this is back September 2020. So that they could hook their masks onto the buttons on the headband rather than onto their ears so that their ears wouldn't get sore wearing their masks all day at school. That was the only thing I completed, and somebody said, we're going to do a crochet, the temperature crochet along, and you should join us. And I went, okay. So if you're like me and you have no idea what I'm talking about when I'm talking about a temperature crochet along, typically they're temperature blankets, and the idea is they are a record of the year in temperature. So you set up, which is going to be very different for everyone, a guide like this that tells you what temperature for the day goes with what color. And you can set any colors you like. You can set your list anything here. This is clearly in Celsius because I'm in Canada. We don't do Fahrenheit. I decided to go with the daily highs for the day. So I have a border color. So I do this color in between. I do this color in between each month so that I can tell which month is which by that. I will also be crocheting an actual border around it when I'm done. And then all of these are temperature ranges. So -5 and below gets this gray, -4 to 0 gets this yellow, 1 to 5 gets this green, then light purple for 6 to 10, dark purple for 11 to 15, orange for 16 to 20, red for 21 to 25, brown for 26 and above, and then we're back up to the border color. So it's December. This has been for 2021. So let me show you the behemoth that is this temperature blanket. Keep in mind, this is my second crochet project ever. Ugh, it's huge. I decided to make this a single blanket because, like, for a twin size bed. So, yeah, this thing is huge. This is the beginning of it. So, basically, you do a stripe for every day. So this was the start. I chained enough for the width for a twin bed, and then did a row. And this looks great. So this is January. You can see some of the places where I have joined that didn't quite work. You can see some of the places where my stitching didn't quite work. Yeah, there's a lot of hot mess going on in this blanket. But this was a learning experience for me. And we get up into, okay, so that's January, February. This is March. This stripy mess is April. May, June, July. Oh, twisty. But yeah, some of the rows I'm only doing one row. I'm only like front loop only. Some of them I'm doing back loop only because I'm new in this and don't know what the hell I'm doing. Some of them I go through the whole stitch. There's lots of drop stitches and mixed stitches. The edges of this are so bad. The edges are so bad. They're all over the place. I'm not going to undo any of it. I'm not going to redo it. This is not striving for perfection. This is my first blanket, can you tell? But summertime is mostly that red and brown. And then we get back into the fall and we start adding the oranges back in. So yeah, this thing is enormous. And that is from that black there to, is that black? Yeah, that's black. That black there to that black there is November. So I'm caught up to the end of November. I haven't started December yet. Typically when I'm working on this, I am working on it while I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons with my friends. Because Dungeons and Dragons requires you to move your token and roll dice, but otherwise it's talking. So I just sit and talk and crochet. But yes, this behemoth is huge. It is a hot mess, and I don't care. I have learned a lot from doing this. This is all just single crochet. There's nothing fancy about it. How I've done the single crochet has been a little interesting. I've definitely dropped stitches here and there. The rows don't end up even. I haven't woven all these ends in because I didn't start until very late. But this is probably my 2022 project, is what weave all of these ends in. Finish the blanket, weave all the ends in, and then do the black border that I want to do around it. It's a hot mess. It's okay. It can be a hot mess. It's my first blanket. So that was that. Now while that's going on, my niece, by the time I agreed to that, I found out my niece was pregnant. And I'm like, oh, that's really awesome. But I hadn't, maybe I can crochet something for her. I don't really know. And at some point earlier in the year, she was due in April, I picked up some baby yarn. This is Brunette baby blanket yarn. And this is just literally a single crochet. It was literally a single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one, and back around again. So I made this cute baby blanket. And it's slightly wonky. There's a couple of spots where things don't quite meet up, but it's a baby blanket. It's going to be spit up on and then thrown in the wash 8 million times. It's lovely and cozy and wonderful. And I'm sure my niece will love it if I ever get over there. This agoraphobia crap is a thing. For those of you who may not know, I suffer from agoraphobia, which means leaving my house is a problem. I have not met this cute little guy yet. I was hoping he would be at the family Christmas on Friday, but that part of the family was not able to make it. So I'm going to have to get into the car and go see her at least long enough to drop this off for baby one before baby two shows up. Because, as I said in the unboxing video I've done recently, she's pregnant again and due within a week of her new baby's first birthday. Irish twins. She's a fantastic mom. I'm sure she's doing fine. But she has bit off quite a bit. And then I ran into a little bit of a problem because I bought 1 or 2 balls of yarn for the temperature blanket project. Just 1 or 2 balls of each color, and as I was running low on colors, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna need more of that. I would order some more. But there were 2 colors that I ordered that I got in giant balls. And now it's not missing. One of them was this red color. I got it in, it's Red Heart Comfort. And I initially bought 1 ball, and I'm like, yeah, but it should be fine. We'll be able to do that. I got down to October. I needed 3 more rows of that temperature, and I knew I was never going to need that color again, and I ran flat out of the ball. So, in the interest of completion, I had to buy another giant ball of cherry red Heart Comfort yarn, because I couldn't find this color in a smaller ball. So I was like, all right, okay. So now what am I going to do with all this yarn? Because this is a lot of yarn. So I found patterns to make ornament hats. Cute little ornament hats. And I went out and bought this yarn to go with it. I literally was just looking for a light gray yarn because you're just suggesting that it's got a top on it. But I found this, which is called Soft Gray Sparkle, and it's actually got some little silver shimmer in it. So I was like, hey, that works. And I made these hats, and the problem is one of these is the adult size, one of them is the child size. The adult size will engulf my entire head. The child size comes down to my nose. So clearly there's a gauge thing that I was supposed to do with this crochet project that I didn't know to do, and now I feel like an idiot. So yeah, so I've given one to each of my daughters. They're both way too big for them, but that's okay. It's a hat. It works. I will probably continue making the next size down. Maybe I'll experiment with changing the hook size. That may help, but it's pretty funny. But when I had to learn how to do that, it started telling me how to crochet in a magic ring, and I'm sitting there going, what? This isn't Lord of the Rings. I don't have a magic ring. Wait, I've seen magic ring before in something. What was it? And I realized it was the Annie's Kit Club that I got that makes these little baskets. And I'm like, okay, why don't I go dig that kit out and I'll make those up, and that'll teach me how to work with the magic ring so that I can make these hats. So that's what I did. So I made these. They actually worked up really fast. And this is the yarn I have left over. I don't have any of the red. I actually ran out of the red a little bit. I have a little bit left of the denim blue from the medium one. I have that for like the edges, and I have a little bit of this. It's a really sturdy yarn. It's not real soft. I wouldn't object to having it next to my skin, but it's definitely meant to be more utilitarian. But now I have scraps, and that's the scrap left over from the baby blanket. Scraps. So I got those done. And then I decided I can crochet Christmas gifts. God, I'm a moron. So I went and I realized I had black, and I found a ball of white for God knows what reason with all of my random crafting stuff. I'm like, cool. So I have gold from the temperature blanket, and I have white, and I have black, and my oldest daughter just started high school, and that's her high school colors. I know this because I went to the same high school. So I decided I would make her a scarf, and it is completed. I haven't given it to her. Shh. It is a Christmas gift. But now she will have spirit wear because she wanted me to buy her a sweater from the spirit wear that they have at the school. But damn it, those sweaters are $50. And I'm broke and disabled, and yeah, so I used yarn I had on hand to make a spirit scarf for her, and I have found a pattern that I'm trying to puzzle out for a cool ear flap hat that will go with it. I'm gonna try. I have already tried starting it and frogging it out. It's not the magic ring. They want me to single crochet 3 in a row and then work out of that, and I find it confusing. I'm gonna try it again. If I can't get that to work, I will find another pattern to make something work, but I will make a hat to go with this for her to wear and be spirited, because new high school. And then I was like, well, I could make a spirit scarf for Caitlin. Caitlin's still in elementary school. It's not as big a deal for her. But my Caitlin is a girly girl. She's 9. And she insists on wearing dresses even in a Canadian winter. And I mean, on the scale of Canadian winters here are pretty mild. I'm actually further south than a lot of your more northerly states where I am here in Canada. But it's still cold. There's snow on the ground for 3 to 4 months a year. Dresses get cold. So I decided, what can I do for my Caitlin that fits her? Well, when I was buying yarn, some things have fallen out. A while back when I still had cash, I picked up this cute Peyton's Canadiana in this color. What is this color? Pretty Baby. And it's supposedly a 4-weight, although this and this are both supposed to be 4-weight, and this looks very much thinner than this. Maybe that's me. I decided leg warmers. We'll get leg warmers. She can put them over her tights. This is the first one I finished. I found a pattern and only vaguely followed it. And this was the first leg warmer I came up with. This is like 30 rows or something. And it looked really huge. Like I could put it on me. And it was supposed to be just a cylinder. I didn't intentionally increase the number of stitches to the top, but I definitely did, because it's definitely tapered. So I went, oh well, I think I know what I did wrong. And I've already got this one made, so let's try to do it again. Well, I tried to do it, and the second one actually ended up bigger than this one, and I went, okay, this clearly isn't working. So I went back to the pattern, and this time I actually followed it. I tried to do this one with alternating single crochet and double crochet rows, but I don't think it looks as nice in this because of the colorway that I'm doing. I like how this turned out better. I just did double crochets just to get this one done really fast, and this one I did today. It's just 30 rows, it's just 30 double crochets around, and this time I skipped over the chains and just kept doing 30 double crochets around. I kept stopping every row and double checked to make sure that I only had 30 and wasn't adding anymore. And then the cuffs is just single crochet. Same deal, just go around. And this looks more like something that would fit my daughter. So I have this yarn, and I have another light blue yarn that's got some sparkle in it like this. And I think I'm going to frog this and remake it like this. And then if I have time before Christmas, I will do a second set that is more this single double thing going on with the blue yarn, because it's not a colorway, it's just straight blue with that sparkle in it. So, but I like how the colorway works out here where you get the stripes of the color. I like that a lot more than I like how this one turned out, so that's what I'm going to do. And then of course, I can't stop there. I started doing, this was the beginnings of a gift card holder, and it didn't work out, so I frogged part of it and I still have some of it. I don't think I'm going to rescue it. I'm probably going to stop doing that. But I started also looking at ornaments, and I made this because I couldn't resist, and while I was buying groceries I picked up Red Heart Super Saver mistletoe, and so I made this. So I think I might make a few more of these and give them to people like my mother and my sister and other people in my life. Maybe out of the mistletoe, maybe out of something else. Maybe I'll find a garland I can make out of the mistletoe. I don't know. I declared temporary insanity when I saw this. It's like, oh, it's Christmas and I'm crocheting. I'll buy some more yarn, and then I get it home and going, what am I gonna make with this with? With this, I don't know. Oh well. I'm a little manic, can you tell? But that's what I've been doing crochet wise. I've definitely got stuff on my hands. My biggest hurdle right now is trying to translate letters for crochet hooks to numbers. Most of my crochet hook are in millimeters. So people will say, you need a J hook for this. I'm like, well, that's great. What's a J hook? I know there's conversions. It's just my brain doesn't work that way. So I have to kind of wire myself a little differently. But that is all that's going on currently in this crazy world of crochet that I've been doing lately. Thank you so much for joining me. Like the video if you enjoyed it, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, because there's more crazy crafting projects. I mean, I've got my diamond art club under here. I still do diamond painting. It's here. I just threw a blanket over it because otherwise it's a very busy shot. But thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.